I think the most impactful thing that I've seen as a mentor is when people have engaged me to actually help them professionally. And actually, probably the best example of this would be with my PGY2 residency program that I offer. It's so rewarding serving in a mentorship role for these individuals and then watching them succeed. And in fact, when I was at Texas Tech on faculty, I had a mentee that was a student and then a resident and then did a specialty residency. And ultimately, she wound up taking my position when I left there and has been extremely successful since then. And that's been really rewarding for me.
Early in my career, one of my mentors provided me the opportunity to work alongside him with assessment and policy development that was really outside of my job duties and my experience, but by gaining those skills, it actually helped me directly get a job as a director, because those were the exact qualifications that they were looking for, and I would never have been able to do it if it wasn't for my mentor taking me alongside him and teaching me.
Oh, it's hard to say what my most impactful experience has been as a mentee because I've just had such great experiences over time. But I guess the one that really sticks out in my mind is from a few years ago when I was completing my residency. I just had a really, really good mentor that kind of helped me in all aspects of, pharmacy practice, teaching, uh, scholarship, research, all of that. And she just really got me interested in academia and was an excellent mentor to me throughout my residency. And a lot of the things that she taught me and shared with me way back then have stuck with me and become part of how I practice since I've had my career. But I've had so many great mentor experiences. It's hard to pick just one. The value of mentorship to me is priceless. If you can find an excellent mentor to help guide you through your pharmacy school career and then throughout your career, it's going to be so valuable to you, especially. And so I just encourage you to utilize your mentors. Again, that's what they're here for.
I think one of the most impactful experiences that I had as a mentee was when I was working on my PhD. And this was my advisor. And my advisor, she had low vision. And so whenever I would go to her office for office hours, I would announce myself as I came in so that she would know who was there. And I think that the experience in working with her, she was a professor. She did amazing things. And she also helped students feel like they mattered and that they could eventually and right then go out and make a difference. And I think that that was a tremendously impactful experience that I've had in working with her and learning from her so much. I still stay in touch with her, and it was very impactful for my life.
I think the most impactful experience I had as a mentee was just kind of a wake-up call moment in my residency when pretty early on, I was trying to feel comfortable being the pharmacist staffing in the IV room on the weekends and just wasn't really feeling that confident. Felt like the technicians knew far more than I did at that point, especially about the IV products that I wasn't that comfortable with. And I sat down with my mentor and I said, told her what I was thinking through, and she said, well, which of the pharmacists in Central, which was, the order verification, is making you feel like you can't ask them questions? And I said, well, none of them. And she said, well, do they seem impatient with you when you ask questions? And I was like, no. And I think she picked up on my body language and she was like, you're not asking the questions, are you? And I wasn't, because I felt like, well, I'm the pharmacist now. I need to know what I'm doing. And she said, Jen, stop. You're not here because you already know everything. If you already knew everything, you wouldn't need to be here doing residency training. And she said, even if you're over in the IV room, the pharmacists in Central are still there as a resource for you. And she said, you need to not be afraid to ask questions. You need to admit when you don't know something. and just, realize that you're here for a year of learning, that you're not going to learn if you don't, let us know where you're at. So that was kind of a gut check and a moment of truth, but it really kind of turned around and helped me, think differently about my approach in the residency year.